Hey everybody, it's Tara Green here, and this is the pink Libra full moon of April the 5th and the 6th. This is set for Eastern Daylight Time at 12:35 a.m. set for New York. So I know I'm a bit late with this one, but I had an intuitive sense that I needed to wait, and it turns out that my intuition was correct because some very powerful announcement came which I didn't hear of until later in the day. But anyway, now I've got this chart for you. So what we have here, you can see there's the sun at 16 degrees of Aries, conjunct Chiron right there at 15 opposite the moon. So this is a very intense Libra full moon. It's all chirotic. It's all about healing relationships, healing imbalance, healing war, healing the war within. It's Aries. It's about healing all the PTSD of all the millions of men who've gone to war over the thousands of years who are lucky to return alive with PTSD. And there's Jupiter nearby at 20 degrees already as well. So this is a super powered time, okay, to look at where we're defended, to look at where we refuse to be intimate and open in relationships, where we think we're always the lone wolf. There's a very popular movement of people not wanting to be in relationships and a big rejection of men, of the patriarchy. And the patriarchy is one thing, but you can't wholesale or just reject, whatever, half the population of the earth because of patriarchy and what it's done. We need to work towards getting to some kind of nice pinky balance here. So issues around justice, which is ruled by Jupiter, is very much in the mix here. Now, of course, Donald Trump was just arrested the other day. So there is, like I said, man-made laws. There's sacred laws. Jupiter rules sacred law as the ruler of Sagittarius, which is on the ascendant here at 18 degrees for New York. The U.S. ascendant is pretty close by at 12 degrees. So this chart is pretty much aligned to the U.S. natal Sibley chart as well. And Jupiter also rules Pisces. And of course, there's Saturn in Pisces right there in a grand water trine here. So these are very karmic times, folks. Saturn is the lord of karma. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, considered also to be the most karmic. So we're in the beginning of the unconscious karmic cleanup, karmic payback time now, while Saturn's in Pisces from March the 7th until 2025, 2026. So we're trying to Mars in Cancer. Mars rules Aries, and Mars is in detriment here because it's weak. It's considered to be exalted in Capricorn, weak in Cancer, but it's learning to go home to mom, to emotional safety, to be comforted, to let out the rage and the anger and the tears of all the PTSD. You can't help not being born PTSD in this century anyway. And you should really check out the work of Gabor Mate. He's a Canadian. He was, I believe, born during the Holocaust. He lives in Vancouver. He just had a big interview with Prince Harry, but he's pretty well known working with trauma and surviving it and how to get through it. And it's through embracing our wounds, through going through the wounds. So Mars in Cancer on this full moon especially, cry yourself a river, okay? It'll be very easy to do that. The sun is, the south node here at 4 degrees of Scorpio. So again, if you have any planets at 3, 4, 5, those early degrees of water signs, you're going to feel this energy of this full moon even more so. Okay, so the south node, what we need to let go of in Scorpio, the toxic emotions that have built up that we're unconscious about. Saturn and Pisces, time to let go, let go, let go. And this full moon is important because we're still on the Aries Libra axis, and that's actually where the nodes are going to move into, from Taurus Scorpio into Aries Libra. And so even more so 2 weeks from now, there's going to be a really super powerful April 19th, 20th, a superpower total solar eclipse, the only one of the year at the last anaretic degree of Aries at the 29th degree square Pluto. So you want to sort of think about that now too. Also, these I went back and checked my research. These full moon Libra eclipses have been coinciding with Sun Chiron conjunctions for the last couple of years at least. And I did an astrology magic workshop on this a couple of years ago. Venus was involved in that one. So this is like we keep getting this repeated cosmic message from the heavens, like the planets are all bunched up here so you can do the work, do the healing. We're paying attention to their signals. They don't do it for us, but they align the energies and the vibrations for us to help do the healing. Now, what else have we got here? So again, remember Mars is weak. Mars in Cancer. Again, you might feel hungry all the time. Mars in Cancer, they just want to eat. So don't stuff your emotions. And again, don't repress them and don't project them. This is another thing. Saturn and Pisces, this is a very big chart all about projecting your anger onto your mom or home, your childhood, which not that that didn't happen, but to any others. Again, remember, Aries, self, me, myself, I, self-identity. Libra, full moon in Libra, others, all others, anybody out in the world. And so, this is a really tense, I feel like it's a really tense full moon. I was feeling it a few days ahead. Venus, the ruler of Libra, is at the 24th degree of Taurus, pretty close to Algol, the most feared star in the sky. That's Medusa's head. And I'm also wanting to take back Algol as a demonic feminine when she was really a beautiful warrior. And so we want to take back Algol as such a super powerful woman that the men were so afraid of her. She just had to look at them and they turned to stone. Venus is opposite Psyche here. Psyche representing the soul, the unconscious. In the myth of Psyche and Eros, there's Eros there at 6 degrees of Aquarius. We actually cozied up to Pluto there. It's a Greek myth about the search for true love. Psyche represents the soul. So Venus, the ruler of Libra in Taurus, she rules Taurus. She's very strong. So she brings a lot of beauty into this Libra full moon. But then she's close to Uranus in Taurus, which is in conjunct the moon. So you might be feeling really quite out of sorts or really jangled, like you don't need coffee. Venus wants to get very solid. She wants things to be real, to be sensuous. So really indulge your senses. Feed Venus at this Libra full moon. Do something nice for yourself. Get some body work. Eat good food. It's Passover today on the full moon. It's going to be Easter on the 7th. So this full moon is kind of reigning over, those ancient spiritual religious traditions. But Uranus there puts a kind of crazy, kinky energy into it. And also there's Juno, one of my favorite asteroid goddess. I'm writing a book about her, also in conjunct the moon. So that sense of being able to tune into our innate feminine crazy wisdom, Zen wisdom there in a way, body wisdom, is kind of not really jibing with, the moon in Libra wants everyone to think they're nice. And, they have a bad reputation these days for being too superficial. They're not superficial. They just always want to have everybody like them. So whatever they need to do to make sure that they're seen as nice, that's what they're going to do. And that might be quite irksome right now, or you might find some unexpected stubbornness rearing its head there. Oh, I'm in the middle of my nice act, and then I'm suddenly feeling Venus and Taurus going, no, I want what I want. And then there's Neptune and Pisces opposite Ceres here in Virgo. So this is about paying attention to our dreams. Neptune and Pisces, 25 degrees now, moving up. And the earth and our bodies and the body's wisdom and getting things together and being organized and our work and being of service. Ceres has moved retrograde from Libra back to Virgo. So there's some cleanup work. There's some things we have to go back and harvest. Ceres, Demeter, the great mother, really honoring the great mother, the goddess of all, the feminine source of all reality, will be very beneficial to our psyches, to our unconscious. As Saturn moves through Pisces, a lot of work is really about doing the behind the scenes, the unconscious, the emotional work, the karma, the paranoia, the trauma. Pisces rules mental illness and addictions. And so, watch that you don't, again, overeat. And you can go back and look at how you've done that in the past and work to heal it now. Lilith, the first feminine, the 1/4 of what symbolizes God, one of his two feminine sides, is opposite Pluto here and opposite Eros and opposite Hygeia, which my intuition has been telling me to use her more. So kind of this is like erotic mental hygiene here, like clean your brain up. Like Pluto in Aquarius is like a new mind, new thought, new ways of doing things, especially about Lilith in Leo. She's really proud. She's very strong. She's courageous. She's passionate. I would say she's very much like Durga, with here a very erotic quality. Like she's the queen, she's the drama queen, very passionate. You might find these issues appearing in your life, power struggles, things like that, right? And then, they're all squaring the nodes as well. So again, these are very fateful times, very karmic times. There's also Mercury there in early Taurus as well. So we can talk about these things now. We can give voice to them. We can sing them. We can write about them. We can make poetry. We can voice them. We can feel Lilith in Leo ruling our hearts and our willpower and our creative self-expression, demanding to be heard, demanding to be seen, just, wearing a red dress, partying, shouting your message loud to the world. And then she is actually she's actually squaring the south node right now. That's not shown. Pluto is. But this is a very powerful grand cardinal cross here with Mercury and Taurus opposite the nodes. Mercury conjunct the north node here, needing to speak. Taurus rules the throat chakra with Pluto and Eros. So our own erotic minds, the humanness, I think, AI and ChatGPT are being talked about. We have to be very careful that we don't lose our minds and become like machines and become transhuman. And so we want to really earth ourselves and really enjoy and celebrate our bodies and celebrate this physical existence, that's also Ceres and Virgo, the earth, food. People are worrying about food shortages and, farmers fighting back against imposed government, WEF, fertilizers and whatnot. And so all that, the fear about financial loss, that's Neptune and Pisces, so Ceres and Virgo means you need to be able to grow your own food. You need to be able to gather with your family. You need to be able to support each other. Let's see what else we've got here. I think we've gotten to everything here, basically. Yeah. So my sense is pretty intense. You can see there's all the oppositions there. I've highlighted them there. I've drawn them in. Big grand water trine. So, let yourself feel the emotions. It is, again, very much a healing time to work on taking off the armor, de-armoring ourselves, facing our wounds, being vulnerable, kind of getting on our knees and working with the inner child. Venus in Cancer is very much about working with the inner child, and it all starts with the unconscious, the womb. Cancer is the womb. Anything your mother went through when she was pregnant with you, all of her trauma, you've picked it up. There's Saturn and Pisces right there, south node. We're all carrying our mothers and our grandmothers' personal, very real, everyday experience, because when our grandmother's eggs were formed, when she was a fetus and her mother at 5 months, and it goes back through time. So this would be a time to stop and, really do this intergenerational trauma healing. We all have it. Of course, certain Indigenous people and Black people and anybody who's been suppressed. Anybody who's been enslaved, and we've all been enslaved to one degree or another by this patriarchal culture for thousands of years, and enough is enough. We need to look to the future, like, Pluto just entering Aquarius, it's going to be 21 years for Pluto in Aquarius and Saturn in Pisces for the next 2.5, 3 years. And then a brand new beginning happens when Saturn and Neptune meet at 0 Aries. That is a huge, big event. So paying attention to all that. So again, I wanted to just mention that I got the news that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced he was going to be running for president. And here I put in, there's an asteroid named Kennedy. I put this in here. It's at 19 Pisces, connected to Neptune. So it's kind of a dream or a wish fulfillment at this point. Him announcing that he's going to run on a Libra full moon. I'm going to do some more investigation into this in terms of the big cycles. I've been on Twitter again talking to another astrologer about these big cycles, which aligned in the 60s. And so, yeah, I'm going to get into that. It has to do with Saturn. And actually the asteroid Kennedy is at that degree. Okay, so maybe I should talk about it now a little bit. No, I'm going to save it for another. Okay, so all the best blessings for you on this pink full moon. Stay in the pink. And also for Passover, for it's Ramadan, I believe, as well, and for Easter to everyone. So find that peace and that balance within yourself. Be the peacemaker, be the go-between, be the ambassador, be brave and strong enough to go into your own wounds and heal them, heal those wounds from all the PTSD that we've all been affected by, and then the big water trine, cry out all the suppressed pain and the anger and the loss and, all of your karmic story, because there's really only, a few major things that, it's abandonment, rejection, we're not good enough, can't trust anyone, all those issues. And once we learn to connect with Saturn and Pisces is about the reality of connecting with your own higher self. Now, Saturn is also, this is something else I really want to talk about, Saturn is conjunct the Archangel Gabriel. And so right now, on this full moon, you have a direct channel to Archangel Gabriel through really being impassioned and really feeling all your emotions, about the laws of attraction. You have to use emotion to make things happen. So definitely, appeal from the bottom of your heart, from, your stomach might be very upset at this full moon as well, so watch what you eat. And then the South Node, you want to remove the toxic garbage there, Pluto rules Scorpio, and so Pluto is also squaring that. Squares are not bad, they're tense, but they make things happen. So wanting to wish you all the best blessing, look at where 16 degrees of Libra, you can use an orb of, I would say, 10 to 18. Libra, Aries, if you have also planets, angles, nodes, whatever, at those degrees of Cancer and Capricorn, you're also going to feel the pull of this full moon even more. And if you want to get in touch with me, I'm at tarottarot.com. I do personal readings. I do relationship readings. I'm a medical intuitive as well. So check me out at tarottarot.com. I'd be glad to go into this kind of in depth and even more with your natal chart or any issues you have. Okay, sending you many blessings.